I put as much effort into drinking coffee as I did my training, I'd be a world champion by now.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty smart. Yeah, if there's anything. The only good thing about it is I took it easy, went to like Disneyland, and it was probably more knackering going to Disneyland for a week than it was doing a week of training. You know, like walking around all the parks. You're walking like 10-12 kilometres a day. Out the house from like 8 o'clock, back at 9 PM. Flipping heck, like, you know, you think training's hard, fucking walking around Universal. So yeah, I did 6.5k earlier in the water, which is pretty big for a non-swimmer like me. Hit the cap. I put as much effort into drinking coffee as I did my training, I'd be a world champion by now. Yeah, I was training by myself in Norwich, and it was just getting a bit stale. You know, like I was battling away, doing all my swimming by myself, and I was like, oh, I know I should be doing a threshold session once a week. And sometimes I'd get to a threshold session, I'd rock up to the pool, I'd be by myself, and I'd be like, almost like, oh, here we go again, you know. So like sometimes I wouldn't do them. Sometimes I would. Did the challenge championship. I didn't feel that good on the day anyway, but I had an absolute shocker and got like, you know, terrible race. And I was really demotivated afterwards, and like my girlfriend was there, Laura, and I said to her, like, I've had enough of this, you know, I can't be asked for this anymore. I need to do something different. So I put a Facebook post up there, and obviously like I couldn't move to a different country or anything because like Laura, I'm going out with Laura, and she's like working in Norwich as like a doctor. So like it had to be somewhere in England really, but I didn't know where really everyone based themselves. So I posted up on there and said, where's good places in England to train with, like squads? And people said Loughborough, quite a few people said Loughborough, and then Steve Lloyd, the coach from Absolute Tribe, commented on there and said, why don't you come up to Nottingham? And then Laura, she went to university in Nottingham, and she said, well, why don't you go to Nottingham? It's a nice city and it's close to Loughborough anyway. So a good little training hack or nutrition hack, whatever you call it, is prepare your food as much as if you can before your session. So I'm just getting some sweet potato chips ready, and I'll do some roasted veg. So like I'll pretty much cook it. So when I get back from the run session later on this evening, it's all pretty much done. You know, I'll literally just heat it up. So it'll save me a load of time, especially when you've got, you know, swimming the next day. Like I probably won't get home from the run session till 8 PM. So if I was doing this, if I waited until I got home to cook all this, it'd probably be 9 PM by the time it's done. Whereas if I do this now, I'll get home and within 10 minutes, it'll all be done. You know, including like cooking the chicken and everything. So I can chill out with it before I go to bed and basically get my nutrition in, recover quicker, and have more time, you know, in bed asleep. So I should feel fresher for the swim session. Yeah, so the A race is definitely Kona. To be honest, I have like a few A races, so I'll have one at the end of the year. Pick one in like the middle of the season. I'm not 100% sure what I'll do in the middle of the year yet. But then my first big objective is Ironman New Zealand. I've been second there twice, so I'm going there this year to win it. I've already celebrated the win and brought myself a nice TV at home. You know, big old 82-inch TV. You know, told my girlfriend and mum that I'd won it, so I've celebrated already. Everyone else is just racing to pick up the pieces. Make sure I've got good legs, won't I?
Stay in the lane. Ha!
1k, 200 jog, 600 a bit faster, 200 jog, 400 a bit faster, and then the recovery afterwards, like a lap easy, 4 times 3. Apparently it's like meant to be like 310 for the k. and then a bit quicker for the others.
Each time we're going to go a little bit faster.
But it's like continuous for 2K.
We feel like the track's just a little bit too slippery for us to go any faster. So we're going to hold that pace. 68. Just be careful then, lads, won't you?
Yeah.
Okay, 2, 1, go.
It's still going on, it's 400.
This time last year, I'd been doing this in Australia. 30 degrees, lovely morning.
Alright, mate.
I was like, God, it's
Do you
too
want to pay for me to come with you, fly out there?
I was like, it's too hot for a track session tonight, and now it's like the complete opposite. Like last time you were like dealing with like overheating doing them.
Yeah, okay, that's all got there then.
Oh, no. Yeah, we'll have to do that next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow anyway.
Okay, mate.
Bit depressing, isn't it, when you know you're going to be back here in like 9 hours time?
I know, yeah.
To be honest, the main thing about New Zealand is like it's a brilliant country to go to. Like scenery is absolutely great, and the timing I think of the year is fantastic. The race is at the start of March, so most people would think it's a stupid idea to go and race a race in March coming out of British winter. But how I look at it is, I've done it twice now, and every year when I've been in good form in the middle of the year is when I've raced New Zealand, because you have to go out there like, you know, 3-4 weeks early if you're coming from like where we are, Northern Hemisphere, to get over the time difference, you know, and to get used to the warmer weather out there. So that means, say I go out at the start of February, I've got 4 weeks where I can train in the heat, you know, where it's nice and warm. I can get out, uninterrupted training, and then I do Ironman New Zealand, and it sets you up really good for the rest of the year. Because if I don't race New Zealand, I'm not that motivated. You know, I get to Christmas and I'm like, I'm not racing till May. You know, I can keep on the cakes, keep eating the rubbish. You know, not trying so hard in training. Before you know it, March has come around and you're not actually that fit. Whereas you do New Zealand, you know, I get Christmas out of the way, New Year. Get to like 1st, 2nd of January, and I'm like, shit, you know, I've got an Ironman in 28 weeks. I can't afford to mess around. I've got to get my act together. So it kind of keeps you motivated for your training. You've only got 4 weeks, you know, January of rubbish weather to train with. Go out to New Zealand, 4 weeks of great weather, do the race, come back. You've got good fitness because you've just done like a build up for an Ironman. It sets you up perfectly to carry on your training, you know, for like your bigger races in July where you want to be in top form. So it's just good motivation, and you can get some money. You know, you win the race, you get some decent money, get some good for your sponsors. You know, get some publicity, and I like racing as well. Like I really like the race. Good atmosphere, course suits me, and I haven't won it ever. You know, I've been second there twice. I've been the bridesmaid. It's time to step up and be the bride. So Jimmy has given me his bike because he can't drive, so he's got me to take his bike back from the track this evening. So after swimming tomorrow, he can come straight round here. So just for a bit of a piss take, we're going to put his bike on Facebook Marketplace and put it up for sale and tag him in the post. So I'm now listing his bike on there. Like that, you want a picture taken, don't you? Look at that, a proper Brooks seat. That is what you want on your winter training bike, don't you? Make it comfort. And he's even put the super fast, like skateboard grip tape on his brakes. He's gone the extra mile, isn't he, this lad? Yeah, well, like I was saying before anyway, like Laura said to me, why don't you see about Nottingham? So I contacted Steve, because he messaged me on there and said, what's it like? And he said, oh, you know, it's good, there's some like fast guys there who are some 420 for 400. So I thought, well, got up there, went up there a few times in the summer for about 4 or 5 days each time, just to see what it's like, because, you know, you can't commit to somewhere if you've never been there. Both times I thought it was brilliant, so I went up there and then trained with them, and then like I thought at the end of the year, you know, once the season's all out the way and all the races are done, I'm going to look to get a place. So like you said, what's the benefits of it? I've got 20 people probably to swim with. You know, we turn up on any swim session, there's 15, 20 people there. Steve's on poolside, you know, like he's videoed me like 2-3 times already, and I've only been there 8 days, 9 days swimming, so you know that's going to help massively. And he's given me lots of technique advice. Like he's already seen what I'm doing wrong, and we've kind of tried to think. To be honest, I've had a lot of videos before where people have said you've shown what you're doing wrong, but they haven't really told you how to correct it. They're always like, you know, you're doing this wrong, but it's like, well, you know, I know a million times, and like, you know, I know exactly what the video is going to show, but it's like, how do I stop that, you know, and change it? So Steve's like really good at that, and yeah, I've been swimming with a decent group of people, like, you know, mixture of sessions, good technique stuff, good people to push you. And then the bike sessions are great, you know, like the ride that we did today was flat, you know, perfect for the TT bike. But then the ones what we do tomorrow will be like in the hills, you know, and you'll see like what a mixture of terrain to have on your doorstep. Loads of good cyclists as well around here. I mean, I'm only just getting in contact with them, but people have told me who's up here, and obviously I know what their results are, and you know, they're really good. So hopefully get out with some really good cyclists soon. And then the running's brilliant. You know, I've got loads of trails from my doorstep. I've got the park, which is great, Ramco Park, about a mile away. I'll probably run there tomorrow, so you'll see that. And then lots of people to run with as well, you know, people from the Tri Squad, so Jimmy Kershaw and a few others. So there's just a lot more people, better coaching. Terrain's great for training, better than what you'd get in Norwich, because you've got more of a mixture. Like you've got the hills and you've also got the flat, so it just seems all round a bit better.
This, aren't they, sidekick? I mean, looking at Joe swim and having talked to him prior to him coming up here, there's definitely a lack of volume going on. You know, so there's a lot of swims on your own, 3 to 4k. You know, my guys, you know, yesterday we did 6.7k in the pool. Today we'll get 5k in. He's swimming with people that are faster than him. So, you know, all of that I think alone will help. And then, you know, the technical bits that we can work on. Hopefully that gets the gains, and you know, the reality is you're talking of 4 seconds 100. You know, we're not talking massive gains from somebody who can't swim to somebody who wants to swim really fast. It's marginal gains, and then you stick into that the drafting element, and it becomes even easier hopefully. So yeah, fingers crossed. I think there's got to be some sessions where you've got an opportunity to be pushed by the people, you know, and get some input from coaching and even from other athletes. You know, if other athletes can help out and stuff. You know, we've got guys swimming, you know, 409 for 400 now. So, you know, if that doesn't inspire Joe to push on, then you know, probably nothing else will. So, yeah, he's got an opportunity. Just got to see whether he's up to it.
Like, you think, what the hell am I doing in my life, don't you? Like, contemplate what you're doing. But it's always all right once you get there in the end. It's just when your alarm goes at 5:10 and you're like, oh my God, like what am I doing? It's freezing cold outside. But you've got to be in it to win it, ain't you?
Exactly, mate.
You ain't gonna win if you stay in bed, are you? That's a guarantee. Well, Jimmy was in bed yesterday, weren't you? Supposed to come to the swim session yesterday.
2.8k behind you this week. I'm gonna get it back.
But you know, I get really frustrated because I've always done shit in 70.3s, and it honestly really, really frustrates me. I do them and I feel like, you know, I'm quitting. I ain't doing another one again. Like, I get so demotivated because a lot of the time when I've done it, I've got on the bike and I end up averaging less watts than I do for an Ironman. And then when I get on the run, I run like the same pace as what I do in an Ironman. You know, I run 2:39 in what was it, Florida recently, off a 4:05 bike leg. I'm probably biking slower in a bloody 70.3 and running like a minute going through halfway, about the same pace as what I am in an Ironman. And I think it's like a mental block, because I did challenge Gerardsbergen this year. I thought, right, I'm going to try something different here for this race. So I thought, I'm not going to race from power on, because I think I see the power and you know, it ends up playing with my head too much, and I don't end up executing a good race, because you know, I've seen the power what I do in training, you know, and I can do way more power in training than what I can in a race, then obviously it shouldn't be that. You should be able to up your performances, shouldn't you, when you get into a race? You know, you get to race day and you take your level up and up another level. That's what I seem to do in an Ironman. So I thought, right, Gerritsbergen, let's do it. No power, can't see anything, just go by feel. And I had a fantastic bike, got out of the water about 2 minutes down, got off the bike in second place behind Peter Heinrich, who did the Challenge Championship 2 weeks before and put 8 minutes into me. I biked the same with him in Gerritsbergen without looking at my power. Unfortunately I had a bit of a run injury, so I had to pull out of the run after 3k. But that, I didn't know I had the injury until like really that race, because it only came on about 5 days before, 6 days, so I wasn't sure how bad it was. But I was in second place when I had to pull out at 3k, and I think had that not happened I would have probably finished second in that race, and it would have been a really solid performance for me. So I'm looking forward to this year, long story short, doing some 70.3s and executing the races that I believe that I can do, because I haven't done myself justice at the 70.3, and from what I've seen in training I should be able to do a good 70.3, so I would like to do it, because I think it's quite a fun distance. But it's not fun when you're getting your ass kicked, you know, and you get to the end and you're like, I'm 40 watts down from what I should be, you know. When you put out 20 watts more in an Ironman than what you've done in the 70.3, you know something's not right, don't you? You know, so yeah, I'd like to give it a go and hopefully do myself justice.
3 hours, no cap. Josie.
Can't rain on Swift. You'll have to Photoshop a little odometer, say 450 watts or something.
440.
Yeah. Lovely British weather.
Moist.
Well, we picked the best day possible for you guys. I'll have to give you my jacket in a minute. It's fucking boiling.
Got any sun cream in there, lads?